Hello everyone, greetings from PayTabs technical support team. In this series, you will learn how to integrate with PayTabs through our PT2 API's endpoints. And we will walk you through the first integration type, which is the PayTabs hosted payment page. For the purpose of this series, we have created a very simple Laravel project to walk you through the integration process. But feel free to follow the steps in this series with your own project, whatever the programming language or the frameworks used to integrate with PayTabs. So, let's get started. In this video, we are going to learn how we can capture a transaction in our hosted payment page integration type. So, let's get started. First thing you should know is that you can find the full documentation for this part inside PayTabs support portal under the article called the Hosted Payment Page API's Integration Manual. Now, from the integration manual over here, navigate to step 7, Manage Transaction, and here we are going to, through this video, to learn how we can capture a transaction. But before we start, please note that we highly recommend you to check our solution article, What is Transaction Type, to learn the differences between the transaction types and each other, like there is a transaction type of sale and auth, and for the capture transaction that we are going to learn how to do it today, it's only available through auth transaction. So this is the same case for the void, by the way, which both of them, capture and void, are only done on auth transaction. So actually what we are going to do first is to initiate an auth transaction, then we will learn how we can capture it. So we can get back to our payment over here. We make sure that the transaction type is of type auth. So I have the transaction type over here from the configuration file. I'll make sure that it's type auth. Then I will get back to my checkout page. I will initiate a simple payment page over here. PayTabs. Save code. I'll proceed to payment. Here you can see where is my test card. I'll pay this payment. Now it's done. You can see now that this is an authorized transaction. It's done. If I went back to my callback over here, I will see that this transaction type is auth, and now I have the transaction type. Now I have a transaction reference that I can capture. So let's continue from where we stopped. We'll navigate to step 2 over here, capture transaction, and we will see that the only required parameter in addition to the 7 required parameter is the transaction reference. This is the transaction reference that we have just generated. So simply, to generate a capture transaction, you need to make a transaction, the type of it will be capture, and of course you will send with it or through it the transaction reference. So this is exactly what we are going to do. The first thing we need to make sure that we have changed the transaction ref type over here to become capture. Save it, then inside our payload over here, I had made a generation for the capture payload, and as you can see, I have added the transaction reference to it from my request, and in order to do so, I have generated a very simple view over here. I will show it to you in a minute. Now, this view only takes the transaction reference, which we just generated. I'll copy it from here, and we'll take the capture amount. Now, the capture amount can be any amount lesser or less than the amount in the original transaction. So this transaction cart amount, as you can see here, is 100. So you must provide an amount of 100 or less. So you can do a partial capture by choosing, for example, 50 or 75, but your maximum amount is 100. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to choose the 100 over here, and I'm going to capture it like that. As you can see, I have a successful transaction, and the transaction type is capture. My previous transaction is the transactions that I have already captured over here. This is my new transaction capture, and the capture has been done successfully. Now, if we get back to my callback over here, you will see that there's a new capture transaction over here with the amount and all the details. And this is actually as simple as it looks. This is how you can capture a transaction. Let's move to the next video.